Okay, so I recently returned from a beach vacation, and it was wonderful. I miss the ocean. I grew up very close to the ocean, and I live here in Greenville now, which I love, but it's not a 20-minute drive anymore. So every time I go to the ocean, though, I get this fear of sharks. I really love to swim in the ocean. I love to swim in bodies of water, and I always start off just yeah, I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there. I'll be the one who dies of a shark attack, and I usually end up, kind of inching in, and then, up to my neck. But my husband always tries to make me feel better. He says, well, there's only like a 1% chance that you would get, attacked by a shark. And I'm like, that's probably the only time I would ever be a part of the 1%, is shark attacks. I'm a teacher. I'm not going to be in this 1%. And teaching was my second career, by the way. It wasn't even I'm never retiring. I will never be in that wealthy 1%, probably. Maybe lightning strikes, I might get struck by lightning, there's only a 1% chance of that happening. Maybe me, probably while I'm getting eaten by the shark. Yeah. Maybe a rare disease, and it's only 0.5 people in the whole entire universe have ever had this disease, something weird, you will smell like pickles or something weird. Me and the 1%, the 0.5%, I will be in that range. But I don't know. That's just what I think about the 1%. Well, it's not on anymore, but did you guys ever watch Downton Abbey?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I loved Downton Abbey, and I used to love to watch it. I still like to watch it every now and then. And once I was talking to my mother-in-law about Downton Abbey, and she said, wouldn't it be amazing to live in that time period? Can you just imagine, wearing those beautiful clothes and going to the balls and stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. I grew up kind of poor. I'd probably be the person downstairs in Downton Abbey, I would be hand washing the underwear, and instead of getting to wear the pretty clothes, I'd be putting the pretty clothes on someone else. I'd probably be raising their illegitimate children downstairs, oh yeah, I don't know, this is mine. That's just kind of how I think of it. So it's kind of like when people talk about the good old days, but those were only good old days for certain people, a certain type of white men, and it's I don't know, it wasn't that great back then, if you weren't a white man. But like I said, I am a teacher. It's okay that you're not clapping. I do it for the money. I don't do it for the fame or the respect. I know my place. I am a teacher, and I like being a teacher most of the time, but my favorite time to be a teacher is right now. It's summer break. It's summer break, and it's my favorite time of year. This is when I'm yeah, you guys should all be teachers. Really, it's a great job. For real, it's amazing. And then in August, I'll be I don't know, Googling things can you actually make money off selling your feet pictures? And it's so how, and can you stay anonymous? That would be me. I try to stay away from making too many jokes about school, but I say if I am going to get in trouble for a joke, it has to be so bad that I'll get fired, but also funny enough to where I'll go viral. I haven't really found that one just yet. But one of the things I love about teaching are the funny things that students say. I teach elementary school and I teach reading, and I have a whole list of what I call first grade funnies, because first graders say really funny things. And another thing about elementary school students, though, is that they are very observational. And they will tell you exactly what they think, and they will tell you what happens at home too. So be careful. But sometimes it's really sweet things though that they say to me. Once we were studying the letter Q, and a little boy, Brian, said, "Miss Brown, Q queen. And you were a queen because you were pretty and you tell people what to do. And I was like, that was really sweet. And the kid beside her was like, well, she's already married. like you might have had a chance, but. So that was fun. I was like, maybe we should get back to the topic that we're talking about here, like Q was for queen. But they're not always complimentary things. They are sometimes not so complimentary. Like when I was teaching the letter A to a first grade group, and this little girl was staring at me like this. And I was like, what's wrong, Lexi? Like, do you not understand? We were talking about the letter A. Like, how can I make it easier to understand? What's wrong? And she said, I like you better when you wear long sleeves. And y'all, I was wearing like a sleeveless dress, okay? And I was like, what? But guys, I think she's just jealous. She's in first grade, okay? My arms are way better than hers. Trust me. Maybe one day, Lexi, she's just jealous. Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm married. Again, you don't have to clap for that. It's all good. We just celebrated our 18th wedding anniversary. And again, like the clapping's not necessary because I'm really in it for the material. He gives me a lot of it. But we, like I said, we've been married for 18 years. Don't do the math. I was a child bride, okay? I know what you're doing. You're like, that's, because I do that too. Anyway, we both grew up in, Christian households, but he grew up Catholic and I grew up Baptist. And we got married, and it was a real scandal. The guys are not supposed to do that. The Catholics don't want the Baptists, they don't like that, and the Baptists are like, no. But we did it. That's the most rebellion that I've ever done. And when we got married, we were like, okay, if we're going to go to church, where are we going to go? Yours or mine? And so we asked around, and what we came to the conclusion is that when a Baptist and a Catholic love each other very much, they become Methodist. So that's where we went. We were like, yes, we'll do that. What else? You don't know it. So we did that for a while, and I realized that really there aren't as many differences between Catholic and Baptist as you might think. I mean, they both think they are right, and they know it all, how religion's supposed to be. And they have a lot of similarities, but one big difference, or one difference that I would say is alcohol. Like in a Catholic church, like you drink alcohol in the middle of the service. Like you're just like, hang on, let's have a little break. And Baptists, well, they drink in the closet. Like they don't want you to know, but they they're not supposed to drink. But yeah, that's why it's so quiet. They're like, how did she know? I know. But so I didn't even drink alcohol. I wasn't really. My parents didn't drink, and the only exposure I really had was my alcoholic aunt. So I was like, I'm good. I didn't really start drinking until I got married. And yep, that's my favorite thing to tell my mother-in-law. Like, I didn't even drink alcohol until I became a part of your family. It's really funny because it's totally true. All right, guys, I am Jen. Thanks so much for being here.